Hey, hey! Welcome to Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. What's up, everyone? It's Friday. I'm excited that it's Friday. Why am I excited that it's Friday? Just so I can, I don't know, because it's like I like my job. I don't know. But it's Friday. You know what? I think it's because of the kids, because with the kids, they still have school. So they're still getting everyone to bed early, waking up early, doing all that. But good to see everyone. Got some news we're going to talk about, and then maybe some games. There's a few games I'm interested in trying out. Sup, Jam X, good to see you this morning. Yeah, why don't we just jump into it? Okay, so this week has been very light on gameplay, but I had to jump into a few things. So, for instance, since we last talked, I'm playing this Tactical Warfare. This is a game, it's actually still in early access, and I have played the demo, but there was a sale to get it for like $1 something. I was like, I might as well. What it plays like is straight up old school Command and Conquer, and I love it. But almost to a fault where it feels like a game from that era, but I would still play it. I guess the issue was apparently they accidentally said it was out of early access, but it's still in early access. I played original version. This is so much better, but I'm still going to wait. Even the early access does have it's 10 campaign missions total, I think. Yeah, for like the good guys, bad guys, however they do that. So, Tactical Warfare is something to try if you're into the Command and Conquer style RTS, and it's cheap. So, something to think about. And then I just jumped back into that Yohane, the Parhelion Blaze, and the Deep Blue. Such a random named thing. I don't know anything about all this, but it's pretty fun. It's made by the same, Inti Creates that did the Gal Guardians. I didn't really like too much, but they make multiple Metroidvanias, and they always make them a little different. This one is very much a fun kind of easy one. I did yesterday get a little lost, but the game does a good job of making it pretty easy. There's something else this game does I really like is at any time while you're playing, you can warp to a save point. I really like that, and it made me think whenever I make my Metroidvania, I want a late game ability that you have to work to unlock is warping. Like I would want to make it where it's like late game before the last boss, where you can do something optional that then would unlock this warp jump, save warp ability. Because what I like to do is, especially when I've kind of beat a Metroidvania and I want to kind of look around places that might not have anything, but I'm just curious. I'll look at some. Oh, okay, so I have to warp here, and then I got to walk down here, but I don't think there's anything there, so I'm not going to do it. But when I was playing this Yohane yesterday, I was like, I don't think there's anything here. I'll just warp there anyway and look around. Yeah, nothing there. But now I know. I like that I can quickly warp somewhere to kind of look and not have to worry about traveling across, the map. So, it's neat. Again, it's like you don't want the games to be too easy, but you want them to give you enough flexibility to have fun doing whatever it is you're doing, And then I just jumped into Battle Operation 2 just to do the free, get the free mobile suits. I got a bunch of cool free ones. Actually, no, I only got a couple because I don't have them all, but I have most by a lot. And that's about it. Again, I haven't really been doing much gaming. What have I been? It's just been a mix of different things going on this week, really. And there hasn't been like one main game for me to be like, okay, I gotta plan time. Well, I guess if that's it for what we've been playing, yeah, let's jump into some news. Bungie reportedly gearing up for Marathon reveal later this month. So this could be, if this is, I forget if this is supposed to be, no, it's, okay, I think April is when, oh, and Jeff Grubb, okay, I think April is when we will probably hear from them about Marathon, and it would be its own thing separate from the State of Play. That's what I was curious about, okay. So they're trying to make this a big deal. However, we only heard about what was in the works in the game along with some concept art for upcoming heroes. No actual gameplay was shown. If Marathon is revealed late next week, players will hope that the developers show up with a bunch of gameplay. Exactly. That's what they need right now. That's what Sony needs. We need a bunch of gameplay to really show people, hey, here's something coming that's really cool. Because for me, Marathon, it's like, okay, yeah, there was a Marathon that existed on the Mac back in the day from Bungie, and then they made Halo. Most people from Bungie have left, but they're just using the name Marathon to make an extraction shooter. It's just none of that really sounds interesting. So, but what is interesting is Titanfall 3 in development. New rumors suggest a 2026 release date. So there's been so many times where they would talk about making a Titanfall 3 and then not, and then not. And this is what I think happened. Titanfall, I think EA appreciated Respawn because it was a creative-led developer underneath EA that was, Titanfall and Titanfall 2 were hits in terms of people like them. No one hates those games or dislikes them. It's whether they sold good or not, who knows? Because EA expectation being, shareholders and all that. But then there was the rumor of Titanfall 3 being in development, but this was around the time where companies were looking to do live service. So I do think the original Titanfall 3 probably got scrapped for live service. But then there's kind of been this recent kind of renaissance of let's bring back those lower budget action games that aren't wrapped around this kind of live service thing. And, I think we saw that last year with Sony publishing Stellar Blade. And I think EA doesn't really have much going on. So I think this is probably an obvious idea. Titanfall 3 can have just a badass single player, even co-op, but campaign. And then sure, throw in the multiplayer, the PvP that, I think it's a great idea. But, the other thing too is I wonder if it's important to keep the budget low. A lot of times when you have a AAA publisher, you really expect them to sort of move the needle in terms of technology, gameplay, etc. But I think these AAA publishers are now in a position where it's not about taking the risks, but it's about making what people want, but then having the high polish, production value. That's what the AAA studio can bring. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. So, according to our sources, Titanfall 3 has already been canceled and shut down at least twice. So, yeah, with one of the reasons being given is because the game was too similar to Titanfall 2. That being said, Respawn Entertainment has had several unannounced projects canceled in the past year and probably needs another huge title on there. And that's another thing with Respawn. They could probably be in the position where they can sort of mock demo multiple different things, and it could be like, oh, yeah, let's go on that. And then it's like, nah, let's not. Because I feel like Respawn is at another level of development. Because they're with a AAA developer and because they are with a creative, from, the original Call of Duty. And he's just kind of been a driving force. Let's see. NVIDIA confirms Nintendo Switch 2 will support ray tracing. Not much more to say to that except I think that's the first time I heard that being confirmed. Supports it, but as we heard, even with the Nintendo news, there's a whole bunch of things that it could do that it might not. So Nintendo Treehouse Live and Nintendo Switch 2 Day 1 gameplay videos. So, after the reveal, they started doing these Treehouse. And it was neat because it was during work. So while I was working, I was able to turn around every so often and see some cool stuff. One thing I heard mentioned was that if you already have the Nintendo Online, you get and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what I heard. You get the HD upgrades for free if you already have the Nintendo Online. And I guess if you don't, it means you would have to then buy it. Let's say your Nintendo Online then expires. If you wanted to play the upgrades to the Zelda games or the other games, you'd have to buy it. So I actually think that is cool. Out of all the things going on, that's cool because the craziest thing, and actually, I wonder if I can quickly pull that up on my Twitter. Let's do that. I posted this just for fun yesterday, but it actually, and I don't think it was me that did this, but I'm just one of many that did notice this is a thing happening, and a lot of websites were picking it up. Basically, I went to the Treehouse chat while Nintendo was streaming, and the chat summary was, viewers are demanding Nintendo to drop the prices of their upcoming Switch games, including titles like The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon, which I didn't even know that was announced, so that's pretty cool. Some viewers are even threatening to pirate the games if the prices are not lowered. That's a very specific complaint and next step that this chat summary technology was able to derive from the people in here. And I really, this is the most I have heard, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know if we'll see it if I just like scroll down, just because this was like yesterday's news. But like, oh, that looks neat. But there were so many outlets just picking up Nintendo fans are mad, Nintendo fans are mad, and it seems like it. This is the most I've ever seen a backlash to pricing. But then someone brought up something interesting yesterday, that this also happened with the 3DS when Nintendo first released it, and then they lowered the price. I don't remember. I don't remember that. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we come across this, because it became more than just me posting, oh, this is funny, this is in chat. But no, everyone in the industry is seeing that people are not happy with Nintendo's prices. And I gotta admit, even that's funny. My son, he's a PC gamer, my youngest, so he doesn't really care. But this morning on the couch before school, he's like, the Switch 2 is going to be $450. And I said, well, I'm going to want to get the one with Mario Kart. That's $500. And even to him, he's like, why would you get it? And I get what he's saying, because he doesn't understand that connection, I guess, that I have. Like, oh, play a Mario, play a Zelda. What does Nintendo have? Like, even though he liked Nintendo stuff when he was younger, as he was growing up, it was just PC gaming was the most freeing option of gaming, especially because he likes to do creative stuff like in Roblox and Minecraft and all that. So I wonder what's going to happen. Like, for me, for someone with my income, my age, I'm like, yay, I'm going to buy this. This is cool. But I wonder if the general market is like, Nintendo, what are you doing? This is expensive. Well, I can already play Fortnite on my Switch. $450, I might as well just get that PC. And then would this be another Wii U situation? The only reason I don't think so is because I almost think Nintendo does know this. I think we're still going to see the Switch, Lite and Switch all at sale still for the prices. And then I think there's going to be options. And I think some games are going to come out that are going to still play on both. But they're just already setting up, here is the Switch 2 exclusives. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Real quick, we're going to move on to Amazon Prime Gaming. There's a bunch of April 2025 games that they all seem fine. Nothing big deal. I don't know. One looked interesting because I see Priest Simulator Vampire Show. And I'm like, this is the goofiest thing. Let's look at what this is. And it happens to be on Steam for $11.59. And it is doing a lot of things I never expected a game to do. Let's see if I can... Oh, yeah, let me bring it back to the beginning.
To dopiero wielka moc I żadnej odpowiedzialności.
So, it's kind of loud there. It's like you don't really know what's going on here. It says it's a first-person shooter, but and from what I read in the, it's playing black metal, which I'm a huge fan of. So there's a lot of weird things going on with this. And it's playing more obscure black metal music. It's not usually mainstream. If it is black metal, it could be a subgenre. It's a first-person shooter. It has interesting artwork going on. I heard it's short and linear, which is fine. If I'm paying $11, if I can get some neat experience out of this, I might check it out. So, again, I haven't bought it yet, but it's going to be free on Amazon through Epic Game Store April 24th. So, very interesting looking, though. Very interesting looking. The backwards compatibility will work in its favor a bit. That is also another good point. But I'm curious because they said some games, but I wonder if it's like they just mean some games will have a Switch too, but other games, I don't know. I wonder if there's going to be something where, well, this won't work. They haven't said yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. Okay, this other thing, the Devil May Cry. I think we were talking yesterday about shows on Netflix from Capcom properties, and this Devil May Cry show just came out. Um, and I liked it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I don't know, I've played the Devil May Cry games except for the 5th. It's funny, I never played the 5th, but I don't it's like, I guess I know the lore, I don't know. When I play the games, I'm really just playing to do the character action, so I don't really pay attention, but I do know it has a lot of charm, the guy's goofy and all that, and it shows in the show. Although, and again, I don't know if this is in the lore of the show, or of the games, but the show spends a lot of time with these other characters, and I don't know if they're just doing that for buildup, but it's like Dante's not around that much, and then he is, and it's cool, but they focus on these other characters so much. It's surprising, and I do think it's sort of, I don't know if it's the same studio, but it went through the same development pipeline as like Castlevania, of an American anime that's almost horror game themed. I think there's some shared production behind that, and you can kind of see that because there's some shots, and I've learned this from watching anime. There's some shots that look like they spent $100 million to make the animation perfect, the drawing perfect. And then there's some shots that look like, we're like, yeah, we only had $5 to pay for 10 minutes. It's not that it's a big deal because it still looks cool. Let's see. Oh, hey, Chad, what's up? Jim Killex. It is a coding issue from what I've seen. Every title is being investigated for this. Oh, okay. That's interesting to hear because I was wondering with the way Nintendo was working with NVIDIA on the new hardware, like what would that mean for the games? And so that's like the thing. It's like on one hand, you would want everything to be backwards compatible right away, but Nintendo is going off of kind of a revolutionary style handheld to then trying to beef it up, meaning using different technology. So I can understand, like when it's something like that, it's easier for me to understand. Well, like with the Wii U to the Switch with no backwards compatibility, there are discs. I understand. I know there's digital downloads, but Chad just finished season 2 Castlevania Nocturne. Was awesome. You know what? I haven't finished it. That is the only, I've watched them all. I have them on Blu-ray. That one bored my eyes out. And because I had just recently played Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, some of the choices they make have nothing to do with the games, which goes to JamKillX, your thing. The show is nothing like the games. Okay, yeah, because when I'm watching this Devil May Cry, I'm like, what is this stuff they're showing me? Is this in the game? I had never, and okay, I'm glad you've kind of confirmed. Episode 7 battle is amazing. Well, you know what? That alone, just thinking of the battles that do happen, I probably need to just finish it. Because the animations for these fight scenes and Devil May Cry, it's just amazing. I think that's that shared DNA that works. But why do they change the lore? And in animation, when in live action, we've just realized you don't change the lore. Like companies are getting better at making sure the lore. So I don't know. Maybe because it's animation, they can just do another one real quick. I don't know. Just watch that one. Okay. I'll do that. All right. Okay, so that's it. That is all I have. Now we're going to play a game. There's a game that came out. It's called Lilac Zero. Just came out. When did it come out? March. Or was it December? Oh, no. It came out March 4th. Okay. Let me get it going. Writer's ego. Yeah, that's a good point. Because someone's like, hey, you've got this property. And it's like, here's the story. And it's like, well, you know what? I would rather do this. I could totally. What is happening here, guys? I got to show you. Why is my game like this? Okay, I can't move it around. Is this how we're going to play? Let's go to options. What is with this display? Okay. Very interesting with the CRT. Wait a minute, it's doing that thing that it does where some games, not all games, some games if I play full screen, this app won't pick it up. But, you know, that doesn't happen all the time. Let me try something here real quick. if I was to add a specific window. Wow, not even the specific window, so I have to. See, this is weird. I have to send this to the people that make the software, because like right now, it's showing animation, but if I click into play, it freezes for you guys. But because this is supposed to be an entertaining show, what I will do is okay, that's gonna take me too much. I was gonna try to hide the taskbar, but let's just play this and I'll do something else. I don't know what to expect. Look at this. You're like this samurai with rockets on your feet and a sword. I'm just gonna hit start because I don't know what's going on. Cool. It's like a shmup. Okay, scan to move slower and target enemies. Oh, neat. Orange or immune to use your. Oh, wow. Okay, this is cool. Oh, do I not have my dodge? Oh, because I wasted it. Well, you didn't let me, do it. Okay. This... Oh, that music. This is like Sega Genesis. So it's a shmup that you're a samurai with rockets. Oh, I like that. With rockets on your foot, and you have a samurai sword so that you could, like, slice through things. Oh, and then get hit. Oh, God. Okay, let's restart. Okay, I think that worked, but I got hit. Like, that's pretty cool. So I want to time a bunch of different abilities, and the way the game is set up, since your thumb is on A to shoot, you can easily press B to dodge, but also LB to do your other attacks. So the game is set up to make it easy to pretty much do all your abilities quickly. I wonder if I can. Wow. This is... I was distracting. Oh, wow. I am gonna die. Dude, this is really good. I'm not gonna play anymore, I'm gonna move on, but... Oh, it's either LB or LT. LT's easier. Oh, and right trigger to shoot? Oh my gosh, this is... Okay, this is gonna be a lot easier. Oh, I messed that up. So, there's going to be some probably memorization to enemy patterns to do your certain abilities at certain times. I don't know if the game has any sort of, like, leveling up system. It wasn't expensive, so I really think the game is just, you know. Okay, so it says you get some reward. Oh, color palettes. Level EX. So maybe you can... get an EX unlocked, or a level unlocked. Game Boy palette. And then 1 credit clear. Huh. Well, there you go. That is Lilac Zero. To me, it is... That was bad. Just from what I saw, looked cool. And then playing it, it matched that. It is... Right now, $11. But I want to say I bought it in a 2-pack with another game... Hunchback's Dungeon. Like, what is that? I don't know. I haven't played it, but If you guys are interested in that game and this game, there is a 2-pack that's like $11 that I found. But I think because I bought it, it's not showing up. This Hunchback's Dungeon, I have no idea. Let's look at it. It actually came out last year, but again, it was in this 2-pack. Many modern writers want to write their own story and will use other franchise skins. Yeah, that's when fundamentally at a base level they messed up the pitch. Like, at what point in it was it like, yeah, let's change the story? You know, like with Halo. And when is that ever a good idea? All right, I'm gonna test the full screen again. Yeah, it's still. Isn't that weird? Because not every game does this. And I can't change the resolution for this non-full screen. There's probably a way I can edit that. All right, let's see what this is. New run. That means it's a. I have no idea what any of this is. Wait, should I be using a mouse? So that's how I start a game. I have to click. Okay. So this is a survivor like, you know, Vampire Survivors and all that. I actually didn't know that. It was just, you know, again, $11, 2 games. And I know that's like so small. Don't worry, I'm gonna get with Meld and ask them why that's happening. All right. You know. I know it's early on, and usually with these games, you have to like get into the groove. But I wasn't really looking for Survivor-like. So. I'm gonna get out of this. Oh my god, I don't know how to control. Okay, here's one thing I'll do. We probably don't have time, but Devil May Cry 5. It's like, why not play it? I haven't. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. All right. Okay, see, yeah, this is full screen. No issues. So, have you guys played Devil May Cry 5? It's funny that when this came out, originally, I was like, I'm going to buy it, and I never did. And that was, 2019? 2019 is when I got the job I have right now, and I feel like that's when, and I've brought this up before, like, once I started that job, you know, some things in life had to take a backseat, and I think keeping up to, I'm just pressing forward. What am I looking for here? Adjust until the internal brightness matches the external brightness. What? What does that mean? All right. I'll just wait when I'm playing, because it almost looks like the screen has some weird haze over it. Almost like the brightness needs to be adjusted. Let's see. Yeah, sure. Had no interest in 5, only the novel they released. Why did you not have interest in 5? Because that was almost the same with me. I feel like I most of the way through, but never finished because RPGs. Okay, yeah, because that's the thing with this. Like, I'm very excited to play this, but it is just an action game, you know. And sometimes there's other games that have a little bit more going on, you know. So yeah, again, 2019, new job, really getting into Gundam, and some gaming took a backseat. And I think it was even right, it was before 2019 also, because that was when I sold my entire video game collection to pay some bills, to get down payment for the house, all that stuff. Okay, so like, what am I seeing right here? Just to press confirm, and then here, I don't know what it's wanting me to do. I really... Oh, I see it. So it was already fine. Alright. It still looks weird. I think it has to do with HDR. I wonder... Let's see. Screen resolution, refresh rate. Ooh, excellent. Oh, look at that. I'm going to turn off VSync, because I have that done in NVIDIA. Frame rate. Keep it a variable so I can get up to 100. So it only locks at 60. But this is 2019, so this is still pretty good for that. So rendering method. I don't know. No HDR. So that is very strange that the game looks like this. But, whatever. I have most of the way through. Oh, yeah. Okay. I stopped liking Dante's personality starting with DMC3 despite the gameplay being good. Oh, what's this? Oh. Continue to pretend. Oh, so that's some interesting lore I don't know. Because I've played the original Devil May Cry games, but never beat them. It's always been like, I don't know, either... I think I even had them. Because that was the thing. Part of my video game collection was just tons of games that I never finished. I think that's normal. Hey! Good graphics. This is good for 2019, but it is Capcom. May, 8:06 p.m. Wow, this looks great. On stream, obviously, I don't think it's doing the frame rate, but luckily...
You never had this much trouble.
My computer... See, this is an example where my computer is running this amazingly, and the stream is running fine. That's why I always think it's the game when a stream acts up. And a good example of that is how, like, yesterday I was playing Haste, and it jumped in the game right away, but then as I was playing, it would load things. Some games load at the beginning or at the end. I think if games are loading things, and how they're doing it while you're streaming. Damn, these graphics
You should
are
not
good.
underestimate this demon. After all, it was he who took your right arm and gained a great deal of power from it.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't care, but I would
leaving.
figure these cutscenes would be quick because it's an action
I
game.
suggest you do not fall behind.
Yeah. Wow. I love these graphics.
Okay, V. You're an interesting guy, but you're right. I've got a score to settle with that son of a bitch.
I'm trying to think of another, not like this, but did you guys ever play like Gungrave? And I know there's a recent one, but like the older ones, they kind of had the same sort of Devil May Cry thing going on. Okay, that's not what I want. Oh, it's probably game options. Yes, I'm inverting. Thank you. All right.
Dante.
It's strange that they paused the game to tell you that. They could have just said it at the bottom. Gungrave Overdose. Is that what it was called on PS2? And then there was that Hellsing game too. I don't think I played that, but I think that was also supposed to be like crazy. Okay, so that was cool. So the lock-on is... Okay, I am kind of confused with the combat, which is only because it seems a little different. So, right bumper locks on, but also makes you slower. I guess for, you know, strafing and kind of like Z targeting in Zelda. That's what they're going for here. So instead of like a traditional lock-on thing. Oh, okay. You know, and I might have only played the sequel too, and then there's the other one that came out like a couple years ago. All right.
Demons helping each other out? What's the world coming to?
Oh, I have to hold and then. Oh. So it's interesting the feeling of the right bumper as sort of the way to. I guess I didn't read that. To like look at enemies, or you know, this has a slower pace to it that makes me feel like, you know, like the changes God of War made from the originals to the new one. But this isn't going all the way there. But
Hey, thought you took off.
Do you not understand? We cannot hope to do this without you.
That's all right, superstar. Go on with your bad stuff. Go ahead. We got this.
all right, I'll probably jump here. But I can't believe how good these graphics are, and especially, you know, on stream it's not going to be, you know, 143 frames or whatever, but man. Okay, yeah, so let's quit. Hopefully I'll play this more. I like just straight up action games where I just run around and do action. I need that in between the, what was it, Rise of the Ronin and the Assassin's Creed Shadows. So much open world, so much time spent going from point A to point B. This will be a way for me to just run through, fight, do all my stuff. So that's it. It's a little later, but I got to get to work. Got stuff I got to do. I'm just happy it's Friday. Hope everyone has a good rest of the Friday and weekend. And I'll see you guys back on Monday if I don't have a video this weekend. I always say I'll try to, and then I don't. So I'm not going to say I'll try to, but I'll try to try. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you later.